design manual, it seemed like just recycling as much as possible on site was kind of the way to go, just to reduce costs and.
Just depends on how they built it, right?
Right.
And then on schedule, I guess, real quick, I didn't keep track of slides.
It's okay.
On bid award, we got bid award, then you got permits. Are there any owner permitting items in there? That permitting schedule?
The permitting block there incorporates all permitting for the site, for the project, including all this.
Including those that would be obtained by the owner or the developer?
Correct.
Yeah, I'd probably move those out and
Move those out.
prior to bid award.
Okay.
So you don't get delays.
Right.
So,
Okay, thank you. I didn't think about that. We'll incorporate that in the report.
that's it for me.
My name is George McKenzie. I'm with Consumers as well. I've done the payments for this. My background is civil engineering, but please let's just go back to the schedule real quick. It is related to payments, but so we have the pay first take it in. But any anticipation of it looks like coming to your quarter 4 that we're starting parking lots in November. Any issues with that?
That's a great
Particularly
point.
with hot mix.
Right. That's a great point, and we will we'll look into that again and probably and most likely modify it.
Might have a break between quarter 3 and quarter 4.
You might want to check to see if anybody's here after November 15th. That'd be next.
That's a great point, and we will make that adjustment. Thank you.
By the way, I like what Michael said, and that is a little bit beyond Michael's probably one of the best presentations I've seen in all the years up here, so you guys did a great job. The biogas, we're using it on site. How do they do that exactly? I'm kind of curious.
There were a couple methods.
Yeah.
The one we're kind of hoping to implement is based on the density of the gases. Methane's specific gravity is about half that of carbon dioxide, so we could just use that to separate it. There's also carbon dioxide scrubbing methods, so we didn't come to an exact process for doing that, but we did explore a couple of options, and when you see the density difference, we're hoping to be able to separate that, and then the carbon dioxide, and we're also trace amounts of hydrogen sulfide based on negligible less than 1%, and those can be just shifted off based on the density differences.
Any idea how big of a generator you're looking at there?
Here we were, the production of biogas is roughly a meter cubed per kilogram of volatile suspended solid, which is destroyed, which is the combination of BOD and COD. So, I couldn't tell you the exact size of that generator.
Is any of that cost in your wastewater treatment plant or anywhere in your construction?
Yeah, that was in the cost. The water was whole reactive powering station. That kind of went along with the digester cost because with the continuous disturbance tank reactor, that takes into account the heating of the mixer as well.
Just like to point out at this time that the methane capture and reuse was not part of our scope, so that was something that we went above and beyond to add to our project. We thought that was necessary for the sustainability aspect.
It's something to consider.
It's more just a consideration.
It's one of the concepts.
Try to just one more question, I guess here. I didn't really have big questions except the one. You mentioned green and blue roofs. It took me a minute to figure out what blue roofs is, but I got that now.
It took me a while too, so.
Where are those going if we have a truss roof going on our two biggest buildings?
They will not be on those were for the restaurant. Those are alternatives for the restaurant.
Alternatives for the restaurant roof or the brewery roof, so that would be something that, it was not our scope to design the structures for those two buildings, but it is something that we can certainly consider with the construction of them.
Okay, thank you.
Hi guys, my name is Andrew Hermans, Harley L. Severo, I'm a structural engineer. Again, like was said already, I wanted to commend you guys on a really nice presentation, really well polished. Really nice job, Matt, just tying it all together and giving us in. That was really good. I like the way you spoke. Everybody spoke really concisely, really well, and I especially like how you had a nice summary of what you were going to talk about and touched on all of it, and then laid out all the options for why you made the decisions you made. I thought that was a really critical part that you guys covered very well. That being said, I'd like to know if you could, my structures guy, if you could talk about some of the options you considered when doing your lateral load resisting system for your building, and what options you might have considered for the roof.
Initially, I was considering putting just straight across bracing on the. Sorry. I was considering putting bracing like just straight like this, but
Single strut bracing.
yes. But I just after getting some help from some people, I decided to go with the Chevron bracing.
Okay.
And yeah, so the Chevron bracing is going to do the lateral loading.
Okay, and why did you select the Chevron?
I selected the Chevron because these are going to be cutting across there. That's going to be a really long member. These members are shorter.
No, that was perfect. That's perfect. Yeah. No, that's the right answer. That's the right answer. That's the right answer. Okay. How about horizontal deflection of the building due to wind load? Was there any consideration made for that, or analysis done to determine what that is?
I don't think we looked into that.
Okay. And so in the model you had, it wasn't explicitly designed for. Okay. And how about vertical deflection, live load deflection of your members within the building, the beams? Was there a consideration made for that, or limitations placed on what that can be?
Deflections were calculated, and we made sure they were to a minimum when I was doing the selections and checking to see what measures I took for adequate.
Do you recall like what limitation was placed?
I can't remember exactly.
Okay. Then this is maybe a layout and question somewhat. The height of the buildings, we have the 15 from floor to floor on both of them, right?
Correct.
So, and they both have an underground parking, which we're not looking at here, right?
Correct.
Okay. So your columns go all the way down through the basement,
Correct.
Now you'll have one basement level that's how low below this?
They're 9 feet.
9 feet, okay. And then so you have one basement parking that's 9 feet. The next one is 15 feet. Is there a reasoning behind having such high clearance for that upper floor or first floor parking?
We just decided to keep the buildings uniform. That was a late change. We were initially going to go with retail on both floors, but we decided to throw in some more parking and increase the roof space.
The way I think it may want to be done is that in the building where you have the parking, is that the whole thing comes down, so you don't have so much waste space for that first level parking, and then in the other retail one, I think that might even need to be higher based on what's typically required or expected for retail space, especially an open grocery type building. You guys been in lots of grocery stores, you see how high their ceilings are. It's typically the case. And then, so that's fine. And then last question, the layout. I would expect that a grocery store would have some sort of loading dock, delivery area. Where would that occur?
That's a great question. Let me just pull the site up for you. We designated the area, so for the restaurant, we have loading docks and emergency vehicle space here. We also we didn't think of that of having the storefront. We created this area right here. here, and here, for the loading docks. We figure that most of the loading, or most of the deliveries will come in the AM morning, where traffic will be lower in the lower end, so utilizing the right of ways here and here is sufficient.
I'm not a design guy or a transportation guy, but I don't know if that's quite viable.
One of the things also with the grocery store is it is going to be more of a small localized store, so we're not expecting huge, delivery trucks like they've had it at Meijer or anything like that. We're thinking they could put in a little, Home Foods market or Trader Joe's or something that's not quite so large scale.
Thanks, guys. You did a nice job.
Thank you.
Dave Conklin with Fishbeck Thompson Carter Huber. I'm the environmental water wastewater consultant professional. And again, just like everybody's saying, you guys did a really good job overall presentation. I just want to tell you why. Just a couple of specific things of why it was good. You had good continuity between disciplines, all right? And the fact that your slides were exactly similar for disciplines and the format made it very easy to follow. When they knew what was coming. So I don't know if you know how important that is for somebody to watch, watch the presentation. The graphics were really good. I like that you went to the large site plan. We needed everybody referred back to the site plan. Really good, very good. On the environmental side, good job. Great job outlining the pre-treatment requirements. Now, did you, for the water treatment, I think you mentioned that chlorines, pH were an issue. The source water, did you have a water treatment schematic in there that I saw?
Yeah, like right there.
Okay.
That's
So, was there a specific cost for that you mentioned?
the cost was accounted for in the total cost. We didn't have the exact breakdown here in the slides, but
Where does that go? I mean, you guys had a really good, very sizable, actually, wastewater treatment plant located on your site. Where does that go?
this would be actually in the brewery itself.
Okay, to the brewery? That makes sense, I guess. The wastewater treatment plant layout, again, that's pretty big. There wasn't a layout of the actual equipment?
There wasn't a layout, just kind of run through and then.
So the breakdown of the costs, all the costs for wastewater treatment were in the roof cost, is that right?
No, they were, I think you put the water and wastewater, few of them cost like all.
We may, with the initially we had.
Yeah, because initially I did the two costs separate, one for water treatment supply and one for the wastewater.
Yeah, we had that differentiated initially, but then we thought for presentation purposes, we like to take it out, so we apologize for that. But we do have it separated, so the cost was covered.
All right, okay. Residuals from the beer making process. Did you understand that there's some beneficial reuse?
Yeah, there was actually, from the process, we have spent grain, which is just the hops and the grains that are used to actually make the beer. And those are screened out. Actually, I didn't put that in there. Those are initially screened out prior to making it to the wastewater treatment plant. And that can be used for agricultural, feeding livestock is a common use for that. And,
Any idea of the amount volume of that?
that was kind of outside of the scope of the project, so I did not calculate.
And our next report will definitely have.
No, good job. Good job, guys.
Yeah, just to add to that, real quick, we did do a lot of research, Joe and the rest of the team. We've done several beer tours. Visited a lot of local breweries.
I'll show you guys these. These were some proposed different kinds of beers. Some proposed branding.
You made
This at 5 o'clock at Harper's.
They all pertain to something, local within Haslett, Nacer, East Lansing. So, this branding.
I'm Teresa Klein, I'm with Michigan Department of Transportation, and my teammates here get the big stuff, so I kind of bring up the rear. Restrooms, in that center green space, I didn't see anything about restrooms there, nor in the dog park or out at the pavilions.
Yes, actually, I'm glad you brought that up. I did have for our pavilion here, the PA up here, Pavilion A, we did have the concept of incorporating restrooms into that pavilion. I had a cool image, but we didn't include it in the PowerPoint, but yes, we did take that into consideration. And so again, the concept was to incorporate the restroom facility there.
Okay, and then if I want to use the pavilion and myself and my bridal party of 300, and I want to bring my caterer and my band in there, I don't think I have anywhere to park anywhere near it so they can bring their equipment in. And then if I break my leg in that park pavilion, I don't see a place for the emergency vehicles to get off. And if I start my hamburgers on fire, I'm in real trouble there. Deliveries to the wastewater treatment plant for your chemicals. So how would your delivery vehicle for your chemicals come in and then your solids go out?
So I'll set it up, and then our environmental will finish this off. They'll pick up the rear on this side. So again, overall conception of the design was the truck entrance for the site, for the aspects that we're referring to are through the Marsh Road access point, and then they would come around through here. Now I designed all of these radiuses to be able to incorporate all large vehicles for those turning movements, and then we designed adequate space right here for pulling in through the docking before the delivery of all the chemicals, and also the distribution of all the beer that we produce at the brewery, and then also loading dock here for the wastewater treatment.
And that was another key consideration for the location of the wastewater treatment plant, so we have that right there in the loading zone. So any distribution trucks for the beer or from the brewery can get in there, and also the sludge storage tank will be on the eastern end as well. So there will be the loading bay for any chemicals coming in and the disposal trucks coming in to take the sludge.
So the sludge storing tank is going to be on a wetlands site in your water treatment plant is on a wetlands?
Well, it's the wetlands is over here.
Okay,
That's
so
not part of the protected wetland.
There's a large ridge on that side of the site, and on the one side is the wetlands and the 100-year floodplain. But that's all on steep ridge, and we didn't build anything west of that.
And I also just wanted to touch on the wetland impact, because I know you mentioned that earlier. So we also had to take into account the regulations for mitigation wetland. Basically, for any amount of wetland that's destroyed or developed on, we do need to create new wetland area within our site. However, there's an exemption if less than a third of an acre of wetland is developed on, that would be exempt from doing so. So the only development that actually took place was the pavement of these off-road corridors. There are currently some dirt paths, and this road up here is partially paved right now, but go along with ADA regulations and have paved fully access.
Are there any other environmental concerns when you go to put in those pathways? Anything about endangered species?
There is one species in Michigan, or in Union County, the Queens Indian bat, and we couldn't find any documentation or indication that it's on the site, because this wasn't its typical environment. So we kind of just, we want to say just make the assumption that it's not there, but these paths are pretty much currently existing. They're just not paved. There are a few new ones that we are putting in, so it's going to be within impact, and I believe it's somewhere between 10,000 and 12,000 square feet of ORC that's going through there, so it's below that third of an acre.
So the curb paths are already, I think you said 6 foot wide? Is that how wide you're paving?
No,
The emerging country business plan wanted 12-foot paths.
Oh, so there's 12 foot paths out there. So I can get my,
Yeah.
my ambulance right out there. No
Right.
worries.
Yeah,
Okay,
sorry, I should have brought that.
okay. But you're not, that doesn't impact any trees because it's already, all of them are 12 foot wide already,
The existing,
the existing ones are.
the dark gray cast kind of
Uh-huh.
in the center, those ones are not currently paved, these ones.
Those are the proposed
The
ones.
light brown ones are currently paved,
Oh,
so those are the only ones that are.
And then I was very curious, up in the top corner where the bank used to be, there are 3 blue dots.
Yes, thank you for pointing that out. Right here, let's just go back to just, right there, got it. So we noticed at the intersection during our initial analysis and visit the site, we know that on the north, across the street, across from Hazard Road, there's a really cool corner piece that sits on the existing corner there. So we wanted to also try to mirror a corner piece on our site as well. So we came up with the concept of design of 3 fountains that would shoot water and light up at night. So that was so that's the design concept.
Okay, is there an existing traffic light pole mid?
Ish, yes,
down
ish.
there?
These are all, I made sure to carefully draw all the existing sidewalks and whatnot to scale. So, yeah, that would interfere with that.
Okay.
Rick Shalati with Burton, be quick here. The point, the slide that you had, the retail, showing
Retail?
kind of like the breakout of the retail. I was just curious what the size, how many square feet those retail spaces were.
All the retail spaces. Drake?
I don't know the size off the top of my head, so I apologize for that.
We did calculate the square footage, yes, but we just don't have it presented on the slide.
Okay. And then, I guess, retail spaces 4, 5, and 6, those are just on the back side of the
Yeah,
building, so.
yeah, this is Hazlet Road right here.
Yeah.
4, 5, and 6 are the parking lots.
And then, yeah, the parking lot's over here, sorry.
Okay. I guess I would just, I mean, you might get some concern with regard to not having any frontage on both sites. Like, there's a lot of issues at that current site right now, because nobody can see what's out there.
That's a good point.
And destination-wise and everything else on the last thing is just the circulation of the site there. Looks like when you come in off the west entrance off Hazlet, you come down, you're kind of capturing them within the site. There isn't really necessarily anything to go across or straight across or get from one side to the other.
From the, you're talking about
Either
the
side,
east,
yeah.
the Hazlet entrances?
From the Hazlet, from the west entrance there, I mean, you're kind of coming in and you filter up into the parking area, or maybe there's like a one-way there that you come across.
Through here, I mean, are you talking about through here?
Yeah, either way, I guess if you come down, or if you, I guess you kind of get caught in the lots and stuff, and you can't, all the destinations, like maybe the restaurant up top and stuff.
Yeah, so,
Difficult to get to.
yeah, it is a little bit, because we have that perimeter roadway, so you are able to go around, and that's why we have that one way to enter here, and then, yes, to be able to get to the restaurant, you do, right here would be caught in parking as well, yes, you have to go through there. We kind of did that as like a traffic control consideration as well, to make sure that no one is going too fast to the site. And so we had those radiuses on this perimeter, that's why we kind of divided things the way that we did, so that way there is traffic control as well.
All right, that's it. Thank you, very good job. Yeah.